Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Skies of Arcadia Revisited. I'm Nai, and we're in the balloon airship trying to chase down Alfonso. He ran behind that little bulkhead right there and locked it behind him, thinking that I can't catch up. But nuts to him, we're going to catch up. So our plan is to jump onto the outside of this airship and climb around while the wind whips at our feet, and our backs, and our hair, even though it is perfectly coiffed and isn't bothered at all. It's amazing. We gotta ask Vice where he gets his hair done. Look at those guns. Those are gigantic. Gives you some idea of exactly how big these ships actually are. And we're gonna lose that sense of scale very quickly later on in the game. So we go back in, and all of a sudden, it's a cutscene. That's a really cool crest. Shame we'll probably never see it again. Look at the size of them gears. Those are some big gears. This is a really big bay with basically nothing in it. So the vice captain is telling the Excellency how he can get his escape out. This is the best man. Like, this is the type of guy you want at your right-hand side. Ready to fight off the vermin so you can escape. And so Alfonso finishes his preparations to dispose of a traitor. Where? Where could there be a traitor? Huh? Oh dear. What is Alfonso doing? He's apparently going to attack this man. He cannot, rightly tell the Empress that he lost his ship to some air pirates in a fair fight. He's gonna need a scapegoat, and that's gonna be his vice captain, who just so nicely helped him escape. To keep Alfonso's glorious reputation from being tarnished, you must be sacrificed. Didn't I tell you this guy's a dick? I believe I spoiled that last episode. This guy is a dick. You can't do this! Oh, I believe he can. Yep, he just kicks that guy off the deck. And then sheathes his sword. It's a pretty cool sword, too, and do notice that his sword is yellow. That is a thing that will come up later. Even in death, he'll serve me well. Yep, that guy's gonna fall through the sky forever. But Empress, my own vice captain betrayed us and allowed the air pirates on board. I could do naught but dispose of the traitors myself. And out from nowhere... What? Yeah, we saw the entire thing. What is that hook on the back of Vice's sword? I understand he's using the other sword as a tonfa, as stupid as that is, but the hook on the back of that, what is he? I guess that's to slide down zip lines. Now they're taking control of your ship, we'll be taking the girl as well. There's just one more thing I need to do. After seeing you kill an unarmed man in cold blood, I can't allow you to walk away from this. Draw your blade, Alfonso. And he looks pissed. An uncivilized rogue such as yourself wants to challenge me? Hair flick. You aren't worth my effort, but perhaps you'd like to meet one of my pets. Come, Antonio! Alfonso? Antonio? I wonder if they're brothers. You know what? I think there might be a family resemblance. Alfonso a dick? He is. He's a dick. And that thing looks like a dick. He's his personal war beast. I was going to leave him here, but it seems like he's found a use for him after all. I don't even want to know what this thing is. Like, it looks frightening. It really does. Antonio, trample the pests and make their deaths as painful as possible. Apparently this thing understands speech. I mean, that's a thing that it does. So this is the first boss of the game. And it's not exactly an easy one. It actually does hurt a lot. And it is very easy for a new player to lose right here. In fact, my health is not nearly where I would like it to be right now, to be honest. So we may have to do something about that. But first things first, we're going to attack Antonio. So let's go ahead and just flat out attack him. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have Aka use the Sacred Crystals to get herself and Vice up in health. Now, what you're hearing right now, this is not actually the normal boss fight music. The game is actually very cool in that it will change the boss fight music depending on how well you're actually doing in the fight. It compares your health, or the health of your entire party, versus the health of the boss or bosses to decide how you're doing, and depending on your percentage versus their percentage, it will then change the music to the normal, or to whatever music fits. The music we started with was the You Are Losing music, because my health was actually fairly low. I believe I was at about 50% health compared to the boss's 100% health. Here comes his main attack, Thunder of Fury, which is an AoE attack. So notice that because I got his health a little bit lower, the music stays fairly, normal. This is the sort of mid-level music. You're even with the boss. Of course, my favorite music is the high-level music, the music where you are winning. And we'll be hearing that fairly soon here. There it goes. So now my health is definitely ahead of the boss. It's sort of a foregone conclusion I'm going to win. Now, the scales can tip really easily, so don't assume that this music says, oh, you just won, let's take it easy. It just means that your health's beating theirs. Things can flip just like that. So now I have 8 of 8 spirit points, and because of that, I can use Cutlass Fury. Let's go ahead and do that and use one of my favorite super moves, and the first one you'll ever get. This might even finish off Antonia. Antonio counterattacks. It's a thing that can happen. And here goes Vice to Cutlass Fury. Smack, 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 smack. And overhead attack. Didn't quite, kill him, but it did deal roughly, 2.5 times my normal damage? That's a lot of damage. It really is. And I don't really have to wait all that often to make it happen. So, we just won. I will say I have lost this fight before. I have also lost characters in this fight before when I wasn't prepared for exactly how much damage Antonia will do. But, no big deal. Antonio goes down like a good war beast should. And Vice gives us a little bit of a trademark. Yeah, about that. So we've got a lot of experience. It's a good level for both of our heroes. Levels up to 4. A lot of max HP upgrades. Aika got some MP. Stats up all around. Some quick, which I believe is your turn in battle. And we got some magic EXP. So the way magic EXP works, it's the magic XP times each person that was actually fighting. So, 2 times 2, so it's 4. Plus an additional 1 times magic EXP. So we got a total of 6 magic EXP for this, I think. I wasn't actually paying all that much attention. We'll see later on. We also got a Moonberry, which is an awesome item, and I will teach you how those work as soon as we finish this next cutscene. Oh no, Alfonso, I beat the crap out of your war beast. What are you gonna do? Apparently we're Transformers. Well, Vice of the Blue Rogues, you will rue this day, the day you stood against the Voluan Empire. We shall meet again. I'm sure we will. And we're just gonna stand there and watch him as he sets up this lifeboat to go. Bye! And off he goes. I mean, I'm assuming that we could have stopped him, that we could have done something about it, that we could have just, I don't know, shot him or something, but, we don't seem to care. And he runs off. You coward! What kind of a commander sacrifices his own men and his ship to run from a fight? That kind, the one that has a sterling reputation. You know that a good commander has some licks on him, even though he was a coward with gold. The ship and everything on it officially belongs to you. Well, I mean, belongs is a strong word. You are pirates, and you did just steal the ship. So let's not forget this. But, yeah, so that's our main characters. And look at this girl. I've never seen anyone dressed like that before. I know, she's showing skin above the waist. She sure doesn't look like she's from around here. I wonder why they were trying to kidnap her. Well, you don't want to know. You don't want to get involved, believe me. Just turn around, end the game right here. Just, bring her back and marry her or something. I don't know. Just leave it alone. Now we got a little bit of memories going on. Some big and blank and very not furnished room. Whoever's talking wants to know if they're home. We got a name. Fina. Fina, you replace Rami the Moon. Fina, we're going to blow you up. We're going to feed you until you become gigantic. Then we're going to launch you into space, and you will replace the current moon, which needs to come down for repairs. Elder. However, watch yourself. Do not allow trust to ruin your friendships. Always hate the people you're friends with. And here now we have Aika who's talking. She has such a mouth. You can even hear her through other people's cutscenes. She's breathing more regular now. I think she'll be alright. Oh, she got shot with a concussion shell. It's okay. They didn't even aim at her. She'll be fine, really. That's not something you want to wake up to. Like, that would be creepy. Just to open your eyes and all of a sudden, holy crap, there are people staring at my face. She's coming too. Did they have the sheet over her face? Were they expecting her to die just now? Really? Where am I? You're aboard our ship, the Albatross. Anybody like some fried albatross? That's Vice. Don't worry, there aren't any Voluans around here. But there are us. We're pirates. You're safe. You don't need to thank us. The Blue Rogues are always there to help people. Of course, they're good pirates. Our pirates are special. Could you tell us your name? Her name is Fina. See, I told you her name was Fina. Okay, so now we actually have a choice. We're playing as Vice. Vice is our main character, as you may have guessed already, and we get to decide how he responds to things. And so, depending on our response, his swashbuckler rating will either go up, down, or stay neutral. In order to get about 100% on everything, we have to make sure the swashbuckler rating goes as high as possible. And most of these responses, you want to be getting the right answer. Now remember, a swashbuckler is, among other things, brave, honest, true, good to their friends, and generally an all-around badass. So our answers need to be all-around badass, but of course all the other things. We also have to be awesome, and kind, and generous, and some of these things don't seem to fit a pirate, do they? But we have to be awesome. So the awesome response is, that's a great name. Okay, so when you hear that sound in the background, that is the indication that your swashbuckler rating has gone up. It might not go up by much, and the actual numbers, the numerical something or other, numerical component is actually a behind-the-scenes thing, so we'll never see that. But generally, you know, when you hear that sound, it's gone up. Could go up by a lot, so always make sure that we get that going up. So Fina, huh? That's a great name. It's so feminine. Really? You think so? I have no idea what that means, but maybe that's a good thing. And you try to compliment it. Nothing. No reaction whatsoever. Vice, I think where she's from, people don't flirt all that much. Yes, Kazeka, you know anything about women. I think you'd know more things about being a man than a woman, to be completely honest. And Fina giggles. See, there's a reaction. She's human. What is an air pirate? Oh dear. Just surprised the hell out of the two of them. Notice the blank faces. You're sailing all by yourself and don't even know what an air pirate is. That's astonishing. It's as if you're not from around here. It's her first time traveling. That explains everything. So, this is how you relax a person. This is how you tell them that, don't worry, it's alright, nothing's gonna happen to you. Air pirates are sailors that attack other ships and steal their cargo. So basically, exactly what the Valuans did to her, that's air pirating. Attack? Uh-oh, she's worried. You don't have to worry about us. We're Blue Rogues, because that means so much. It really does. She's never been traveling before, so that name's gonna mean a lot. See, air pirates are divided into two factions. The Blue Rogues and Black Pirates. Black and blue, see? The Black Pirates will attack anything in the skies, especially merchant vessels and unarmed ships. However, we Blue Rogues only take cargo from armed ships, especially the Imperial Armada. See, two things. One, how does you attacking armed people make us feel safer, number one? Number two, isn't this exactly what an evil pirate would tell you? That don't worry, I'm on your side. Really, I wouldn't hurt you. You don't have enough for me. No, they only attack people who have something worth stealing. They rob from the rich and keep the gold. See, they aren't even Robin Hood. They don't even give it to the poor. They just keep it all. But they use the gold to save people that need our help. Oh, okay. Well, that makes it all better then. You just said you keep it. Stop lying. Choose a story. That's why they helped her. Don't worry. They're not trying to kidnap you or anything. She didn't even ask. She didn't say anything. You just planted the idea in her head. Just relax and enjoy the trip. Oh, okay. That's all good then. Speaking tubes, the best thing. These things are so freaking cool. How long are you gonna sit there chatting? Come to the bridge now! Oh, Tenos! We completely lost track of time. We were only trying to make sure she didn't die. That means I have to go. Okay, see you later. Try to get some rest. We only just filled your head with all sorts of thoughts that may be a little bit unsettling to someone who has no idea what we're talking about. Big sigh from Fina. And her mouth just hangs open. That's cool. You'll catch flies with that thing. Okay, so now that we're done with that, let's go explore the ship. And by explore the ship, I mean do absolutely nothing in here because there's nothing to do. You can go ahead and investigate. You know, you can actually interact with lots of things. So they're just going to tell you a lot of things about the things in here. I'm actually not going to go into most of this because most of these aren't actually interesting. If I remember any unique interactions, we'll go into that. But we're also not going to talk to every NPC or anything like that. Is there anything in this? There are no treasure chests on this ship, so we're not going to miss any of that. We're just going to continue onwards. Hi, it's a person. Hi, Luke the Raider. That raid earlier was pretty good. You did all the work, and I just sat back and reaped the rewards. It's been a while since we've raided a Valuan ship. If you're wondering what we did with the Valuans, they surrendered. Captain and I just let them go, though. Well, after we took their treasure, of course. And there was a lot of it. And then, What's the point of this? We'll take what we can, but we only fight when we need to. That's what separates us blue rogues from black pirates. I know, we just heard that in that cutscene just now. I'm a blue rogue, you don't need to tell me this. And up the ladder we go. Don't worry, the music in the background will keep looping. Remember, this was originally on the Dreamcast, so a lot of the stuff, like the changing facial expressions, was a really big deal back when it first came out. It's kind of cool. We got ourselves a map of the mid-ocean. This area is considered the turf of the Dying Family Blue and Robes. By who? Here's Landis the Navigator. When you're at the helm, watch out for sky rifts. Oh, that sounds bad. There are those really strong downdrafts that surround Pirate Isle. I haven't seen them yet. If your engines aren't strong enough and you fly into them, the wind will push you into deep sky. The pressure down there would crush us. Sounds like something I should try next time at the helm of a ship. Hi. Can I fly this thing? Finally decided to join us on the bridge, huh? Well, we're heading back home to Pirate Isle. It's southeast from here. Just head south first, and it's just past the Valley of Islands. Yeah, I should have actually talked to Dine first. There was a cutscene there. I kind of skipped it. Whoops. He was just telling us to literally just go jump on the wheel. Before we set sail, do you have any questions that you want to ask me? No, not really. I understand how to fly this thing. And we are. We are flying this thing. This is a ship, and we get to fly it. It is awesome. This is one of the best parts of Skies of Arcadia, literally exploring the world with your ship. So this is our ship in the middle. That's us, the Albatross. We do have our compass on the right. I'll be using that a lot in the future to guide my way around the world, and also to find individual things, which I'll talk about in a second. On the left-hand side, you will notice our altimeter. It is telling me exactly how high or how low I am. Again, usually used for finding things in the world. These white things around here are sky rifts, and if you'll notice, if I fly right into one, I'll instantly die, so it'll push me down into deep sky. Or not, because the game's a little bit more forgiving than that. Instead, it just stops me, and this is literally an invisible wall, except it's not invisible, it's very visible. So I can't go anywhere past that. Now, if I press R or L, I'll rise or lower. Same thing happens if I mess around with my C stick. I can look around using my D-pad. That's not really important. And then A will allow me to interact with things. B does pretty much nothing. If I press X, I can bring up my menu, showing me my party, which, believe me, we're going to use a lot of that in the future. And if I press Y, it'll bring up my map. My map will autofill as we go through, and I can investigate things by moving my cursor over it. Again, pretty much not important. Okay, let's get moving. So if we go ahead and go right forwards, and dip down to right about, here. Notice that notice first that we're going to get into a cutscene, or a combat. So for the most part, as I said, I'm going to not talk about these combats, but what I will do is I'll talk about individual new enemy types that we find, and if I gain any new special skills, I'm going to show those off. Otherwise, we're probably going to speed through most of these combats. Notice that even though I didn't kill that thing, I did gain some magic experience. It's a good way to gain magic experience in general. Notice that my compass is going absolutely nuts. If I press A right here, I will find a discovery. In this case, I have found the pirate's grave. It appears that someone has scribbled into a stone, "Here lies an unknown blue rogue." The actual name has been worn away by the wind, but the first letter D can still be made out, but nobody remembers who rests here. I've always been kind of curious, but they never really go into it. So, wait, that's the legendary pirate's grave! It was right next to where we live. We pass this way all the time, but no one has ever seen it over here. Good job! I'm sure the Sailors Guild will be more than happy to pay you for making this discovery. Woohoo! Yay! Much of this world is uncharted and shrouded in legend. Ruins, strange creatures, all sorts of things are waiting to be discovered. It's a side quest. Any major port city will have a Sailors Guild. Wonderful to shop. They pay explorers well for any information on discoveries that were made. Yay, I get to make money. When you're flying through the sky and your compass starts spinning, this is something I already talked about. If you try searching the area, I already talked about it. But the longer you wait, the greater the chance someone else will beat you to it. That's actually a hint. There is someone who's trying to find discoveries as well, and if you miss discoveries and don't turn them in on time, he will find them first, and if he does, you get less money for finding it. You'll still get money for it, just not as much as you should have. And it actually will show up on the environment, and it wasn't there before. It's a very cool way to add more flavor to the game. So we'll be looking for those as we go. There are a lot of them, some 80-plus discoveries that we have to find in order to find them all, and believe me, we will find them all by the time this Let's Play ends. So let's continue exploring. They have some great flavor to them. That's the only one we're going to find for a while, though. So we'll get a little bit of combat in here, mostly just so I can talk about the enemy types that we're likely to find. The Maraca over here is just a shellfish, really high defense. and they have a drop that gives you a ring that increases defense or something like that. I find that the drops are fairly rare, as you might expect, but, we may find more drops later on in the line. The Gasling is a caster type. They get really annoying later on because they do have the ability to cast insta-kill spells, so you're going to want to keep an eye out for that. Notice that the Maraca has a blue outline on the right-hand side, whereas the Gastling has a green outline. This is that element thing I told you about. Because I used red on the Gastling, I did more damage, and I got a critical hit, which gave me more on top of that. But because the Maraca is blue, which is water, it's strong against fire, so I'm not going to really do a lot of damage if I try to use red against it. So we will have to switch to green for this one. As much as I don't want to, because that's going to mean we're going to get green experience for this. He just defended against that one, which is why we did very little damage to him. So he's on a guard this time. So unfortunately, the magic experience you get on any given fight is dependent on what color you finish on. It has nothing to do with when you kill enemies, what color you are when you kill enemies, things like that. It's entirely based on what color you are using when you finish the fight. So we are going to gain green experience. It's a bit of a pain, but it's fine. Okay, I did say we would be learning about what Moonberries are, so let's go into our stats screen here real quick, and let's talk about some stuff. Namely, when we first start up, you can see all of our basic stats. You can see HP and MP, what level we are, and then if you flip through the things here, you can also see the base information. Stuff like attack, which is, of course, attack damage. Defense, which is exactly what you'd expect it to be. Willpower is magic attack, which doesn't get used much. As I said, we're not going to be using magic much to attack, and magic defense is exactly what you'd expect. Hit percentage will tell you exactly how accurate you are, which is basically the opposite of dodge percentage. Those numbers really don't mean all that much. I don't think they actually affect the game all that much, but that's my opinions on what it means to our accuracy and evade. And then quick is exactly how fast you move compared to other enemies. We will want to increase hit percentage and dodge percentage, but I don't really notice that much of a difference between them. You can't see what the enemy has. There's not really much of a point in focusing on it. You can also see what we're equipping at the time. The color of the equipped weapons thing will tell you exactly what you're using at the moment. And then we can also see what their accessory is, how much experience they are to next level, and that'll be about it. And if we go into our character, then we can actually see what their magic experience is. So here you'll notice is something unique to Vice. You'll notice that Aka does not have that extra line down there. Unique to Vice is his actual title here, Vice the Unimpressive. So that is our that's going to be our Swashbuckler rating. So right now, we're starting at basically 0. Now, we did increase a little bit, but currently we're just Vice the Unimpressive. Eventually, we will become Vice the Sky King to tell you how far up we're going to go. We'll keep an eye on that every once in a while, but it's not going to change all that much. In this screen, you can also see Spirit and Max Spirit. So if you'll notice that Vice's Spirit is 1 and Max Spirit is 4, Aka's Spirit is 1, Max Spirit is 4. That will tell you how much Spirit you're going to gain every turn, so how much SP, and how much Max Spirit you're going to get. It should give you a lot of good ideas. Now, if we go down to Super Move, which is where we're going right here, we can spend Moonberries to unlock really powerful skills. So Vice already started with his first one, which unleashes his Fury on a single enemy, causing major damage. His next skill is going to cost 1 Moonberry and will give him a defensive stance, which counters all enemy physical attacks for a full turn. Not really impressive, as good as it sounds. If we go to Aka, her first skill will spin her Boomerang, which summons a vortex of flames to strike all enemies in a line. Not really good, but we're going to use it anyways, because it's a decent move. So that's Alpha Storm. Her next one, however, creates an anti-magic shell around all allies for 1 turn that blocks magic, including your own. But it blocks all magic, which is important. So if your enemy uses a magic spell, you instantly skip it. We're going to be using that. Okay, so that's all my Moonberries. I feel good about that. Okay, so let's finish up this episode. There's not much left to do before we end the episode. If we fly through fish, just like I'm doing right now, we can collect fish, you can sell fish, you can use them in order to gain some life back. Not really important for the most part, but in order to 100% the game, in order to get the best possible title, you will need to collect, I think it's 1,000 fish over the course of your playthrough. And if you don't want to have to collect all of them at once, you might, all in one go at the very end of the thing, which is basically what I'm going to have to do, because I'm not going to focus too much on fishing, because it's not really important and not really interesting. You should make sure to make a point to actually try to catch fish as you go on. Problem is, catching fish takes a long time, it's really annoying, and you're most likely to get a lot of combat. The game does have a fairly significant random battle chance, so you're going to end up having combat a lot as you fly through the skies, and given that we must find discoveries throughout the skies, we're going to be having lots of random battles anyways. Again, that's one of the reasons why in the coming episodes, again, not this episode, but in the coming episodes I'll be skipping combat for the most part. We're going to go ahead and kill all these gastlings, get as much red mana as possible. Not red mana, but red experience. And again, the reason why is that there's a spell that I want that we have not unlocked yet. Pyrai was not the spell I was going for. So these ghost types can give HP absorb, and notice that I'm saying ghost types. This is not the last time we're going to be seeing these enemies. The game does recycle enemies, it does with the palette swapping thing. It's not as egregious in this game as it is in others, but it does happen.
We did it!
Eika's just so happy. The end of battle comment will change depending on how well you did, what HP they have at the end of the fight. So notice that we had magic experience of 1, so we gained 1 for Vice, 1 for Eika, plus 1 makes 3. So Vice went from red spell experience required from 18 to 15. Okay, let's continue going east, because we're pretty much done. There's Pirate Isle right there, and as I get closer, we will get a cutscene. And actually, just before we do that, I'm going to stop, show one last thing. That is, if I press start, I can go to my map if I need to go to my map, and you'll see there's the swath of land that I just cut out of the map right there. I can also go to the bridge at any given point in time and explore. Not really important on this particular ship, but it is something very cool. Hi, Dine. How's it going? Where are you going? You got work to do here on the bridge. Okay, so we'll go back here. You haven't read Pirate Isle yet. Return to your post. Aye, aye. Okay, but it is important every once in a while you will want to flip back to your ship, because NPCs will have things to say at various times, and there's also stuff on the ships to do. Last but not least, there is our save point. As long as you're on your ship, you can save at just about any time, and that's going to be good if you ever go find stuff. And that is that. That's going to be where we're going to end. When we come back next time, we will go down to Pirate Isle, and we'll figure out what there is to do for a pirate who doesn't have to raid anything. Should be a tremendous amount of fun. I will see you guys next time. Ta-ta.